What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Cork to Glory. This is episode number 52. And we start today's episode off on the back of our win over West Ham. We'll look at the fixtures coming in December. As you can see, some big ones, including a Christmas Day trip to Old Trafford. We've got Chelsea, we've got Leicester away, we've got Spurs at home, and we're starting off the busy month of December with the Magpies, Newcastle United at St James's Park as well. So as I always say, December is like the busiest month in the season, apart from April, depending on how you're doing in Cups and if you're in Europe as well. So squad rotation in December is always really crucial because you know at some point you're going to have some fitness problems as well. But still heading to the game, 3 minutes before the break, Newcastle would take the lead through a really familiar sight. Leo Yates getting his footwork muddled up there as the Magpies would profit. It was a little bit unlucky, I'll be honest. I can't really blame Leo for that one. A little bit unlucky with the Magpies taking the lead. Had the chance to level it right towards the end of the game as well. Aaron Connolly searching for his first goal of the season so far. Since coming in from, was it Lille? I think it was Lille we signed him from in the summer, of course, formerly of Brighton as well. But the wait for his first Cork City goal continues. And for the second game of today's episode, on the back of the defeat there away at St James's Park, Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea coming to take us on. As we know, this season, they're looking like the front runners for the title right now in the Premier League. So facing them here, knew this would be a really difficult game, aiming to get back to winning ways. And if we are to stay in the top four, well, we need to make sure we don't have too many losses in succession. So taking on the Blues here, 34 minutes in. Got a great home record this season, as we know, haven't lost here yet. But as Gallagher makes it 1-0 and Chelsea go in front, very frustrating start for us. Chance to respond 4 minutes later though, Patrick Keating down the right hand side, stops, turns, shoots. But what a save that was there by Andre Onana, tipping over the bar as it was still 1-0. 2 minutes to go, pushing, pressing, looking for a leveler. Chelsea trying to kill the contest off, and they do so as well. Christian Pulisic into Timo Werner as the former RB Leipzig striker bangs one in. No such problems in FIFA. Werner has. Every single season I play Karima this year, Werner is always pretty goddamn efficient if he remains at Chelsea and he scores the late goal there. We know late goals are so common in this year's FIFA, but 2-0 the final score and back-to-back defeats for Cork City. So as I mentioned there, we can't be having mini patches of poor form if we are to stay in the top four. So for our third game of today's episode here, Leicester City away at the King Power Stadium, I was like, right, this has to be a win. So from the first whistle, I was in attack mode. 33 minutes in, first chance falling to us. Burn through to Samuel Belleville. As we know, he's slowed down a bit, and I'm really trying to keep the chance of him hitting 40 goals alive this season. But it is true, he had a red-hot start of 8 goals in his first 4 games. Since then, the pace has dropped significantly, but it gets back on the score sheet there for the first time in a few games. We make it 1-0 through the Burn assist and the Belleville finish, and then with 30 minutes to go, a chance to make it 2-0 and surely wrap up the points, and we would as well. A brace for Belleville as he squeezes one in at the near post to make it 2-0. I love this camera angle as well. It looks really, really cool, doesn't it? So yeah, 2-0 the final score. Belleville at the double. So good they named him twice. And again, I'm going to do everything I can to fight for him to get a 40-goal season. But it's true, I've really dropped off the pace with Samuel. And I think that's one of the most difficult parts of actually scoring 40 goals in a season. You need to be like consistently good all season long. You can't drop off in pace, you know. And when that does start to happen, you start to lose your confidence a little bit. I do believe that I will get someone else 40 goals in a top flight season. But whether it's going to be Belleville this year, it started off looking that way. Now, I'm not so sure. But for the fourth game of today's episode here, Spurs coming to take us on Jose Mourinho's side at Turner's Cross, aiming for back-to-back victories. And I believe our first scalp against Spurs in this series so far. Early on to the game, 14 minutes in. Oh yeah, first goal of the season for club captain, the Shark, makes it 1-0. We love him so much. And then 7 minutes later, a chance to make it 2. And it's 3-2 for our number 9 as Samuel Belleville gets back in the race and in the hunt for the Golden Boot. And also 40 goals in the season as well. So 2-0 Cork City, perfect start here at Turner's Cross. And then right before the break, still leading by 2. Looking to improve our defence a little bit. Obviously, last season we only conceded, I think it was 44 goals all season long. But I want more clean sheets for Bazuna this year as well. And we get one in this game as well. Great bit of awareness by Leo Yates there, clearing the ball away, saving a certain goal in a 2-0 victory. And our first scalp against Spurs, I believe, in the series so far. I don't really know who's going to be like our main rival of the series, really. And obviously, our QPR save, you would have called it Chelsea, of course, being a West London rival, of course. also an official rivalry, local rivalry. And of course Chelsea in the game do very, very well as well. Obviously they're a very good team. But I don't know with Cork City, like, out of the top 6, who's going to be our main rival? I think if I was to say someone, I think I probably would actually say Spurs, to be honest, because we've got 2 of their former players in Jamie Bowden and Troy Parrott. They were the first Big 6 team we ever faced in the FA Cup last 16 back in Season 2 when we were back in League 1. And Spurs are the sort of team where, like, you just can't predict them in FIFA career mode. Sometimes they're struggling to make the top 4, and then sometimes they're challenging for the title. So I think Spurs probably are our main rivals in the series so far. But speaking of rivalries, I've got a personal rivalry with that man. Bruno Fernandes at the double as Manchester United win our final game of the first half of the season. 19 games in, 36 points on the board. We dropped down to 4th place. We're 6 points clear of Arsenal and 7 clear of Man City and Leicester City as well. We're way off the pace right now in the race for the title, but let's be honest here, realistically we've got no chance of winning now. But halfway through the season, we're one of the highest scorers in the league. Unsurprisingly, the main reason why is that Samuel Belbel has 15 in 19 games, so as things stand, he's on course to hit 30, so 10 shy of the 40 he'll need to match Ivan Toney's record so far for most goals in a top tier division in one of my saves. But still has the chance to do it, and most importantly, I want to make sure we stay in the top 4. And I think Belbel, I think if that's going to happen, then Belbel needs to maintain this sort of form, man. So it's 15 in 19. I can't go in to a scoring slump with our out-and-out lone striker. I don't think we're going to do it this season now. Even though we're only halfway through, I need to score 25 goals in 19 games with Samuel. That's doable, considering we started the season off with 8 and 4 for Belbel, averaging 2 in every game. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tough. Still, as we're closing out December, this is one of my worst fears. As you can see, we saw a youth player was unsettled, and it is one of the best players of the golden generation as well. Chris Hegarty wants a pro deal, otherwise he'll walk. But I can't give him one because the senior squad is full, and I've already released my maximum 2 players. So he's got to hold on until the 1st of January, because on the 1st of January, Ollie Nicholson is going to leave. You might have seen earlier he's agreed to leave the club as we take on Leeds here for the penultimate game of today's episode. So, yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, he'll remain a Cork City Youth Academy player until the 1st of January. Otherwise, we're going to lose a class youngster. He looks fantastic. And again, for the penultimate games this episode here away at Ellen Road against Leeds United here, I think they're newly promoted for this year in the game. I don't think they were in the Premier League last year. I'm pretty sure this is our first time facing them this year. We took the lead very early on through club captain Barry Sharkey once again. I bloody love this Shark, we all do. And then soon afterwards, Troy Parrott gets another goal as well. I talked about Parrott this season. Ever since he completed that position change officially from striker to left wing, whilst his overall rating did not increase, I feel like he's just so much better now. I don't know whether it's a trivial thing or maybe there is something to it, but he's just so much better, and he scored more goals than he got all through last season already, with half the campaign still remaining. So 2-0 Cork City, and 90 minutes after the restart, we'd bag our 3rd goal as well. Oh, he's back amongst it now. A little bit of a struggling patch of form, but Belbel now extends his goals with a game run to 4 as he gets another one there, and his 16th of the season and our 3rd of the night. Leeds 0, Cork City 3 as we get a big win there. 3 wins on the trot, and Belbel, he's still going for it. And I'm telling you, man, seriously, I'm trying so hard to get him back in the race for a 40 goal season. I know I'm going to do it with someone else. I don't think Toney's going to be the only player I score 40 goals with in a Premier League season. I'm sure I'll do it with someone else, and I really would love it to be Samuel Belbel this season. But still, for the final game of today's episode, Nuno's Wolves coming to take us on in the final game of December. 23 minutes in, we fell behind. I was thinking, how did this goal go in? And it wasn't until I saw the replay that I realised what happened here. Poor Leo Yates, man. I mean, talk about deja vu. He scored an own goal against Wolves last season at Molineux in the season opener, and he scores an own goal here as well. Deflects the ball into his own goal. He's just the most physically strong player I've used in a long time. But he's also the clumsiest. Poor Leo. But we love him. We love big Leo. Own goal. Couldn't have done much about that one, though, to be fair. We were still trailing by a goal here. Looking like we'd have our 2nd home defeat all season long at Turner's Cross. 80 minutes to go. It's a goal in each of his last 5 games. Samuel Belbel going for that Jamie Vardy record as he equalises for us in a 1-1 draw. So a little slip up there at home to Nuno's Wolves, but at least we did not lose. And that means, as you can see, we stay in the top 4 to close out December. 5 points clear of Leicester, 6 clear of Arsenal, and 8 clear of Man City and Spurs. Spurs with 17 games to go. 10 points off the league leaders, but don't worry about going for the title. All I want is that fourth and final Champions League spot. But that went into the Court to Glory, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you did enjoy today's episode of Court to Glory, then please do drop a like. Oh dear. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of Court to Glory as we play through the entire month of January and the whole transfer window plus the FA Cup third round as well. Wait for it. Wait for it. Do you know it's coming? Wait for it. Very soon.